Hey guys, I just recently purchased one of these Xtool RA2 chuck style rotary attachments for my Atomstack laser engraver. And I've been playing around with the settings, and I've noticed a lot of people are having problems figuring out the millimeters per rotation setting so that their aspect ratio turns out correct whenever they try to engrave on something round. And I'm going to show you what the setting is that I used that appears to be the correct setting and that works for me every time. So let's switch over here to lightburn, and let me show you what I got. Alright guys, so here we are. I'm going to open up the rotary dialog box, the setup box for the rotary attachment. I've got chuck style rotary selected. I've got it enabled. Make sure it is enabled. And the number that I ended up going with that seemed to work for me was 160 millimeters per rotation. Now the object diameter, which is the circumference of this piece of stock, is 1 inch, which gives us a circumference of 3.14 inches. Now, if you was to draw, so I'm going to hit OK to this. If you was to draw a line straight down and make it exactly 3.141, that would get you one complete revolution of a line all the way around that stock. But what we're going to do, just to prove that this number will give you a perfect circle as long as you put in the right diameter stock that you're working on. And if you get a perfect circle, that means that if you was using text or an image, that's going to come out perfect. Basically, it's going to keep the aspect ratio correct for your cylindrical object. So if you want to go halfway around the circumference of an object, you've got to divide the circumference in half. So let's get us a calculator. I'm just going to paste in the circumference that we had for that 1 inch diameter stock. We're going to divide that in half, and that represents halfway around that 1 inch diameter stock. So let's draw us a circle, and I'm going to come up here to the settings field. I'm going to paste in the 1.570. That gives me a perfect circle. So theoretically, right now, if I was to go out and burn this on my laser burner to that 1 inch stock, I will have a perfect circle burned on it, and it will wrap halfway around this stock. In other words, if I burn it right here, it's going to go halfway around and be a perfect circle. So I'm going to save this. Notice I've got my job origin selected right up here at the top. You can select wherever you want your job origin to be, but for this case, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to select the middle, because there's going to be another test that we're going to do once we get out to the laser. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to save the G code, and you can see my test files here. And just to, I'm going to make a new folder just for these files. So this is going to be for 1 inch stock, and I'm just going to name it 1 circle, the 1 representing 1 inch. We're going to hit save to that. Oh, you know what? I'm going to set up my settings here. Now we're going to do a speed of 1000's fine, and then we'll do 30. Line number of passes is 1. Okay, so that's good. So let's resave this, save G code, overwrite that file, So now this is for our 1-inch stock. This is going to be a circle on the 1-inch stock. Now let's go ahead and pull up our rotary dialog box. We're going to make this object diameter 2 inches. That gives us a new circumference. I'm going to hit OK to this. And now I've copied this to the clipboard. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to select, well, before I do that, I need my calculator. Because remember, we got to divide it in half if we want it to wrap only halfway around the object. So that's the circumference of a 2-inch diameter. I'm going to divide that by 2. Here is our halfway point on that object. So I've got this selected. I'm going to come up here. We're going to paste in our new number. And there's our perfect circle that is 3 inches, 141 thousandths. Now this, on this 2-inch diameter dowel, that should wrap halfway around this 2-inch diameter circle. So we're going to have a circle right here. And this probably isn't theoretically going to be long enough, so whoops, I may end up having to have the laser run off of it, but we'll be able to see that it wraps halfway around. And again, whether this was a circle, text, whatever, if you wanted this to wrap a quarter of the way around, say a cup or a glass or something, then you would divide it by 4 to get the distance that a quarter way around would be. Hopefully that made sense. So we got our job origin in the middle. Let's say our settings should still be the same there. So let me save this one. We're going to call this one 2. Obviously the 2 representing 2-inch. Now, the trick to making this work is make sure your rotary is enabled. Right here is where you enable it. Also right here. And make sure that you've entered your diameter, and it's going to give you, it automatically calculates the circumference. You can enter the circumference too if you happen to know it, and it'll give you the diameter. But you never change this. Once you get this set, you never have to change this. It's going to automatically work for you as long as you put in your object diameter. And I'm about to prove that to you. So at this point, we're going to take our 2 dowels. This one is 2-inch. This one is 1-inch. We're going to go out to, oh, you know what? I got to send it to the laser. So to do that, I've got my laser engraver connected, or I got my computer connected to my laser. My laser's out in the garage. I do all my work here in the office. Okay, we're going to go here to the SD file. You know what? Let me remove some of this stuff real quick. We don't need any of this stuff. Okay, now I'm going to upload to the laser the 1-inch circle that we just did and the 2-inch circle that we just did. So now both the 1-inch and the 2-inch is on the laser. Now something else I want to show you real quick. Let's get rid of the circle. This is a quick test. So right now I'm on a 2-inch diameter. I'm going to copy the circumference. We're going to draw a line. Oh, that's not straight. I'm going to draw a line. And I'm going to put in the length, which is that circumference. I'm going to start my job origin at the very top. So this right here, with this circumference, or this length, with the 2-inch diameter selected as the diameter and the circumference of 6.283, should make one complete revolution and come back to the starting point. So I'm going to put 2, and we're just going to put line. Now let's go up here to the rotary. Let's change this to 1 inch, which now gives us a different circumference. We're going to come over here to the length, paste in that length. It's now shortened our line. I'm going to save this G code. We're going to call this, you guessed it, 1 line. So this should make 1 rotation also. So it doesn't matter if it's a 1 inch diameter, a 2 inch, a 3 inch, a 4 inch. As long as you as long as you have the enable rotary selected and you put in your diameter and you hit OK, and you've got your 160 set up here for your millimeters per rotation, it's going to be correct. So let me go ahead and upload the line for the 1 inch diameter and the line for the 2 inch diameter. Now let's head out to the laser and let me show you. Okay, so here we are at the laser burner, and what I've done is I put a pointer here on the chuck and I've painted one of the teeth yellow. So we're going to take the control panel here. I'm going to hit carve. So we got the 1 line and the 2 line. 1 line, remember, had a line drawn that was equal to the circumference of a 1 inch diameter stock. So there's the 1 inch. I'm going to hit position, hit yes. I'm going to hit go. I'm going to hit that. That should make 1 full revolution and go back to where it's at. Okay, that was for the 1 inch. Now remember, we did not mess with the 160. I'm going to hit carve. I'm going to hit the 2 inch, set the position, hit go. I'm going to hit yes. When I hit yes, it should do the same exact thing. Because if you remember, I set the this line length is equal to the circumference of a 2 inch circle. So this should also go 1 full revolution and go back. Okay, now that that test is over, now for the real test. We're going to take the 1 inch diameter piece of stock, okay. I'm going to select the 1 inch circle. I'm going to hit position. Then I'm going to hit go. And this should draw a perfect circle, and it should be halfway around the diameter of this, or the circumference of this 1 inch stock piece of dowel. Now, Let me take this out. Okay, so right at the edge of that tape to right here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. That's right at the edge of the tape there, and that. So right above that Allen wrench is the halfway mark, and that's that circle right there. Now, if I tried to do that with the 2-inch, let's just do that real quick. But I'm going to have to move this way down. I'm going to load the 2-inch up. Remember, this is a circle for a 2-inch diameter piece of stock. That's half the circumference. And we're going to see what it does on this 1-inch dowel. Now, you'll look at that, and you'll think, in fact, let me go ahead and pull this off here. Because you'll look at that and you'll think, well, that's not much of a circle. That looks like it was going to be more of an oval. And it would have been on this 1-inch. But now, just put the 2-inch stock in here. Circle. Let me go back, make sure that you see what I'm doing. There's the 2-inch circle. 2-inch circle. I'm going to set the position. I'm going to hit yes. Move that down just a little bit. This isn't actually long enough for what we're about to do, but it's going to get the effect done. It should. I'm going to hit go. Here's our circle on our 2-inch stock. Perfectly round, and it should go. And I need something longer. We'll try this. From right about there to right about there, that is half the diameter of that. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but if I put my finger right there to right there, that's half the diameter that wrapped halfway around this stock. So the aspect ratio was maintained going from 1-inch to 2-inch. Perfect circles using the millimeters per rotation setting of 160. Anyway, I hope this helps. Hopefully that made some sense. Put in 160 and give it a try. Just remember, the trick to making this work is you've got to tell the rotary what diameter the object is, and you got to hit OK. And then whenever you go over on your work desktop there in Lightburn, the work area, keep that in mind. Whenever if you want something to wrap only halfway around, you need to use half the circumference for that measurement. If it needs to go a quarter the way around, you need to divide the circumference by 4 to get the quarter measurement. And then you use that for your work measurement. Whether it's text, you make the text a quarter, you know, if you want it to go, if you want it to be a quarter the width of the circumference. Anyway, this video is long enough, so hopefully that made some sense, and hopefully that'll help you out trying to set up your Xtool chuck. Now this is an Atomstack. I've got mine on an Atomstack S20 Pro. I guess I could turn that off. I don't know if using it on other lasers, if that number is going to need to be different. But on this Atomstack 160 was the perfect number. I've seen everything online from 40 millimeters per rotation all the way up to 1440. Yeah, 1440. And I don't know what machines those people were using, but those numbers definitely would not have worked. I never even tried the 1440 because I knew that one would have been way off. I did try 40. I tried 52, all the way up to like 128. I tried 360. Ended up settling on 160, and that's the perfect number for an Atomstack using this Xtool Rotary. Anyway, that's all I've got. You guys, good luck. Let me know if that number works for you and if that helped you out or not. You guys take care.